Valérie, I'm very excited to be in your new office, in your new building, in what is more of an HQ than a flagship here in Paris, where everything started.
I'm also very excited to receive you.
Thank you very much. We know each other very well. I've been following you since the beginning. We're very close in age.
Thank you for me.
No, it is. I mean it. But I kind of know the feeling of what it is to grow up having the legacy of having a father in the industry. How did growing up next to André Messika and then to shape your brand help you to become what Messika is today?
It's a good question because it's hard to answer. It's a mix of a lot of inspiration, but also pressure. You know what I mean? My father used to be, and still he's a very important person in the diamond industry. So following him in his world was super inspiring for me because he's an amazing person, amazing entrepreneur, super passionate. But at the end of the day, when I decided to launch my jewelry line, I had to do it properly because Messika has already
a legacy
and
a reputation. So what was the vision? He has his, because he was a diamond dealer and probably one of the most eminent in the industry. But then bringing yours, how did you came up and said, this is what I want to do and this is where I want to be?
So it was almost 20 years before now. So I was younger. I had this really intuition that I can shape a bit this very traditional industry, whereas I could bring my, touch of youngness, and also the fact that I had this freedom to touch diamond, to be connected with diamond through my father, helps me to have another vision of this stone comparing to the others. So that's why I give a lot of coolness, effortless in my line, because I used to touch the diamond in a very funny way, but also very nude, this contact.
Like a second skin where you wouldn't feel the jewelry.
This is how I started,
And in starting this and creating that, what challenges did you face into stepping aside from traditional jewelry, having your father, which you had to prove where you wanted to go and how you wanted to be in order to be successful? What was the biggest or hardest thing, if you can remember and if you can share it?
So I think the first main challenge is that as he had his reputation, mainly, be a supplier, very close to a very important customer that you probably know, I should do on my own way, not to be inspired by the other one, keep going on my path and try to find how I can bring something new to this industry. And I come up with the idea, and my father told me, okay, I can, with pleasure, I'm your partner, but please never be inspired by the other and do only diamonds, because you have a legacy. You will start it with my experience. You'll become probably one day like a kind of reference in that stone, because you started in 2005, but he started in 1972.
And do you think when you started, you were the daughter of? Do you think that now he's the father of?
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of the fact that I said one day the people will stop telling me you are the daughter of André. And a few days ago, it was in front of my father. He told me, "Oh, you are the father of Valérie." So of course, it's a kind of
pride moment.
Yeah, very.
And speaking of collection, in 20 years, you managed to become a reference in fine jewelry, but also a key player in high jewelry. How did you manage to achieve that? Which I think, in my opinion, and in seeing what's happening in the world of jewelry, you're either good at one or good at the other. But being excellent at the two?
Thank you, Eleonor, you're very sweet. But I'm much younger in the high jewelry industry because I only started 10 years ago with this, let's say, more high-end product. I challenged myself. I said, okay, now after 10 years, I'm mature enough to start a new page for my brand. And as I'm connected with amazing stones through my father, it was like a kind of very obvious and very easy. But
obvious and easy, but at the same time, you need to be different from the others and not to
That's
replicate
true.
what's happening,
That's
especially
true.
working with big diamonds.
That's true. So I said to myself, again, like 10 years before, what can I bring new? And I wanted to create, my vision of high jewelry for a modern woman that can be more wearable. Because I used to see high jewelry like a kind of piece of art, amazing, with a craftsmanship amazing, but at the end of the day, you feel a bit older. So I wanted to refresh a bit. And I said, okay, I have nothing to lose. Probably it will keep like an image product for me, but I didn't expect that it could be a very good leverage for the business. Because now, 10 years after, I can definitely say that we have a voice in this category of product and we bring something new.
And how do you balance this tradition with this innovation and modernity?
Again, I think it helps for sure that I'm only 100% diamonds, because it gave like a kind of modernity in terms of purity of the aesthetic of my jewelry. But also, I always try to challenge myself to put jewelry on very different places of the body. You know that I love clips, nose, lips jewelry, diamond belt, anklets. I love to play with that, and it gives also a cool way of wearing jewelry.
And you place jewelry everywhere on the body, but you've also managed to place jewelry everywhere in the world. Of course, you've started and you penetrated different market, and you've arrived recently on the American market. When you play on that, do you have to shift the way you create collection and the way you create jewelry based on the market you're going to penetrate?
So not really, but I try to never make mistake on the positioning of the brand when I open a country. When I decided to open America, for me it was a big challenge not to position the brand on too affordable prices.
Which is how you started.
This is how, exactly. So I said, okay, now I'm mature enough. This market is amazing, is the #1 of the world. And I don't want people to position it, Messika, like a gifting, very affordable product. And, my husband, he's unstoppable. So he's more in charge of the business side.
Let's get there. I mean, you arrived with the move, which is kind of what created the iconic DNA of Messika. And you managed to keep on creating new things around a collection that is so identifiable. What was the story behind the move? How did you create it?
So it's a moving diamond collection. Why moving? It's because when I used to have diamond on my finger when I was younger, I immediately understand that if I move the diamonds with the light or with the sunlight, it gives the bright. So as in my childhood memory, I wanted the diamond to move, and it create also a small sounds that give something cool. So.
The ASMR.
Exactly. It was not already at that time super trendy, but you're right. And after, what I love the most is to challenge myself each year to create novelties around this iconic motif of Messika, stretching the motif into many different areas, men with titanium or gold also, but also Egyptian collection. I loved that. I enjoy because...
You played with turquoise, you did extra large.
I think it's so playful.
I mean, it's a genius idea, and yet you were able to enlarge the collection and create different inspiration board from your glam zone or
glam zone. I love this collection.
It's such a wonderful collection, and the high jewelry pieces that you managed to bring down to something more affordable, not necessarily in pricing, but in everyday pieces.
Messika is about all different category of people, men and women. It can be very affordable, let's say less than to $1,000 for the first teenager girl piece, and then it can reach another let's say more sophisticated woman. It can be this is the strength of this brand, because we speak about diamonds forever and in the heart of women, and now actually the men's market is becoming also very strong with diamonds. This is why I'm so lucky to reach many different types of people.
Do you think that creating the fashion shows that you've been implementing on a yearly basis, which has become the event in Paris, has helped you with the endorsement of a lot of celebrities who are now being seen wearing jewelry, but also you work with a lot of them and the most iconic, wonderful, powerful, and beautiful women in the world.
To be honest, you're right. This fashion show, high jewelry event moment has made happen to me like a kind of huge visibility for my high jewelry pieces. But I was, to be honest, also lucky enough to have been worn by amazing VIP and even more in America singer like Beyoncé, Rihanna. They love the brand till very long time, and it was much earlier than my fashion show. So I should say that this fashion show implements a strong power to the brand, but we have been lucky enough to create a real appealness to many celebrities.
And do you think the fact that having the celebrities bring a lot of impact and endorsement to the brand, especially as you were saying in the American market, when you have, ambassadors who are paid to be ambassadors, you cultivate a true relationship?
The world is true. I think you're right. As it's organic, it's also very meaningful for the customer. But you know how big is this continent. So let's make the noise about that, saying that Rihanna is wearing Messika. It's not not of noise because we don't promote it. But at the end of the day, to my loyal customer who wants to come more deep inside the brand, it's of course it's a cool value for me.
And can you share a memorable experience moment with a celebrity involving one of your pieces of jewelry?
I think it was my first Cannes Film Festival. Kristen Stewart, who I love her so much, was doing a red carpet with Chanel, and she's not a jewelry person, but I don't know how we get connected, and she fell in love with a ear cuff. It was the very beginning of my ear cuff. It was not trendy at all at that time, but she appeared on the red carpet with my Calypso diamond-shaped earrings. She was just changing her hair color, blondish, with dark, a bit of mix of dark and blondish. And she had an amazing makeup, red. And
I remember that picture.
And I think she wore like a beautiful feather white dress from Chanel. And probably she wore sneakers, and she had this amazing,
very rocky, edgy.
And it was my very first image on the red carpet with such an amazing actress. Imagine
what
the
did
emotion.
You feel then? Because then you now are somebody who's kind of used to red carpet. We see you. You're a celebrity on the red carpet.
No. Don't say that. But at the end of the day, I can always remember it was like a big moment of emotion. It touched my heart,
And if you have to think about the next decade, where do you see, what's your biggest, or what is one of your aspirations for Messika?
To continue to speak about diamonds in a different way, and also to challenge myself to scale this company with a lot of subsidiaries that I have from all over the world, and to make people happy. We just passed by 5 days with my salespeople and customer from all over the world who came here in my new HQ, and seeing those people having so much passion about the brand, about what they're doing, and becoming the better version of themselves makes me super proud and super happy.
And if you could describe Messika in 3 words, what would that be?
It's difficult, 3 only. But anyway, I should say diamond for sure. After, I will say cool, effortless, you know what I mean? Because I think it's a strength that we have in this brand. And at least I will say the last, sensuality.
So it's the femininity. It's basically you.
No, it's not what
That's
I
how
would say.
good. Yes, this is exactly how we can describe it. Well, thank you so much for sharing all these insights. I'm hearing that you have a very nice opening in New York in the next couple of
For sure.
weeks or months. So I'm very excited for you, and congratulations for everything.
Thank you so much, Eleonor, for coming and for this really nice moment with you.
You're very welcome.